It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Folks, I want to start today's episode off with a question. What if TD Synnex bought Xerox? What if TD Synnex bought Xerox? We're going to discuss digital transformation, and I want to discuss TD Synnex and the evolution they're going through, because the evolution that TD Synnex is going through has a lot to do with digital transformation. But folks, if you look on that gigantic, sharp, interactive board, you'll see a brain. Above the brain, it said, providers of professional services start with discovery. Providers of professional services start with discovery, and I believe that all discoveries are fee-based assessments. Folks, I recently read an article that was published in the Imaging Channel magazine. It was recapping a meeting that ACDI had. The article was a discussion between executives at ACDI and executives at Keypoint Intelligence, and they were discussing digital transformation. And as I read this article, I thought to myself, WTF, WTF. I kept saying that over and over, and then I started thinking to myself, is our industry going to screw up the opportunities around digital transformation like they screwed up the opportunities around IT services? And I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I want to share some thoughts. So I don't know if you all seen that article out there, published in the Imaging Channel magazine. The title of it, Demand for Digital Transformation is Through the Roof. I'm reading this article, and it finally really dawns on me. When I think about Keypoint Intelligence, a private equity-backed roll-up of analytical firms that have turned into BLI salesmen and saleswomen as far as I'm concerned. But I'm reading this article, and Keypoint Intelligence in doing what they do, they always talk about the destination when you get there. They never talk about the journey along the way. They always talk about the destination when you get there, but they never talk about the journey along the way, and we got to stop this. We got to demand that our analysts start telling us about the journey. Start telling us where the potholes are. Start telling us the intersections to avoid because there's major accidents. Start telling us where the detours are. Because, ladies and gentlemen, do we really need an analytical firm to tell us that digital transformation is important to end users and it's going to have massive growth? Do we really need our analytical firms to tell us that? Or do we just know that because we're intelligent people and basically that's just common sense? Okay? We all know that our end users want to do more of their business in a digital landscape and they want to do more of it there tomorrow. No analytical firm needs to tell us that, do they? Do they really have to throw out its growth rate every year? Really? Wouldn't it be better if these analytical firms analyze the journeys along the way to these outcomes so they could help our industry navigate better as we learn from those before us and what went wrong? So I have to ask Keypoint Intelligence a question. How is it possible that Keypoint Intelligence never analyzes what went wrong? I mean, why are we letting them get away with this? So Keypoint Intelligence, I have a great opportunity for you. I do believe that Konica Minolta will unload all covered. Pretty sure it's going to happen. And when that happens, you should meet with the Konica Minolta executives and find out what went wrong. And do some really good analysis. You got all these analysts, right? Analyze how piling opportunity on top of opportunity without a clear execution path could be disastrous. Keypoint Intelligence, when Visual Edge IT, the mega deal, or this financially distressed, finally has a reckoning, do some analysis and share that journey so that the travelers on those journeys today can avoid the accidents, can avoid the detours, can avoid the potholes. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to demand more from our analytical firms is the point. But when I think about digital transformation, I don't think about it as some software, some document management, or paper cut. When I think about digital transformation, I think about it as a collection of solutions and softwares that allow your customer to navigate their business more and more in a digital landscape. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's what you need to do. Sell your damn intellect. Stop focusing on products to sell and focus on selling the toll, the customer's journey. Sell them the toll for the customer's journey. Think about yourself as a toll booth. You want to get your customers on the road to this journey to digital transformation, the first thing it does, they got to pay the toll. And then you take them along this journey and you discover things with them. You look where nobody else is looking. And you educate them. And you aggregate solutions and software to help these end users that paid you to take them on this journey go through their digital transformation. If we think that digital transformation is document management or paper cut or some DCA tool, we're missing the damn boat. Digital transformation, just like managed IT services, should start with a fee-based assessment. Sell your intellect. Folks, there's folks out there doing this. Those of you that went to that meeting in the desert, the one that I wasn't allowed to go in, remember that? Well, Frank Kuko and his team shared what they were doing in their managed services platform, and digital transformation is one of those managed services, and this is a fee-based assessment. This is Impact Networking selling their intellect. They're not the only ones in the industry that could do this. But folks, if we listen to folks in our industry and our analysts talking about some destination and how much it's going to grow and how it's important to customers, we're missing the damn boat. What we need to do is focus on how we can go out into the marketplace and sell our intellect to help those customers take that journey. Huge opportunity. Now I want to talk a little bit about TD Synnex because it ties into digital transformation. So TD Synnex, I found this slide in their investor relations section. I did put in red, gross profit must increase through evolution of services, and I really believe they have to figure out at TD Synnex how to increase their gross profit because their operating profit is terrible. And their costs as they move more and more into services they're going to increase. Let me share my thoughts. So we all know what a linear model is. That's real simple. The OEM delivered the product to TD Synnex, and TD Synnex, what do? They warehouse the products. They're a logistics company. They got the product to the reseller. The reseller got the product to the end user. Pretty simple stuff. Pretty simple stuff. And this was a fantastic model, especially when hardware was real important. But ladies and gentlemen, when I was going through the financials for TD Synnex last week, and I shared with you that the hardware percentage of pie in the IT stack had dropped 15% from 22 to 23. That is year 2022 to the year 2023. It dropped 15%. That's alarming. Well, if we're not going to deliver all this hardware and it keeps continually dropping, this linear model at TD Synnex becomes irrelevant. They know that. And we would all have to admit, if it's just about distributing some kind of product to an end user, well, Amazon's really good at that. So TD Synnex, they have to become this solutions aggregator. And I want you to think about this because this is their evolution. And they're going to change the game for resellers all over the landscape. So here's TD Synnex. And what they want to do, ladies and gentlemen, is they want to get the ISV and the MSPs to go through them. You're going to be a SKU for them. They want the cloud providers to go through them. They want the OEMs that make the products to go through them. They want the sys operators to go through them. And then they want to deliver that to the reseller who takes it to the end user. Looks great on paper. But ladies and gentlemen, think about this. What TD Synnex really wants is they want to control the contract from birth to death. TD Synnex wants to control the contract from birth to death. And then they want to go to the MSP in a marketplace and say, hey, you can provide the service on the contract that we wrote, the contract that we decided the revenue on, the contract that we decided the profit on, and you're either going to do it or you're not. And folks, when you think about all the low-end customers, that's exactly what's going to happen. Unfortunately, the MSPs are going to lose control over the contract. Folks, this is a big shift. And now, when I started the episode out, I said, what if TD Synnex bought Xerox? Ladies and gentlemen, let me show you this slide. This slide is where TD Synnex is talking about their global IT platforms, their complementary product portfolios across vendors. And I look on this, I don't see any print OEMs. We know that Sharp delivers their products through TD Synnex. But as I shared with you on a previous episode, when I went through TD Synnex financials, print's a real small piece of what TD Synnex does. But Xerox is on here. Let me circle them. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that TD Synnex has Xerox on there in the way that we think they're on there. I think what TD Synnex wants is Xerox to be a SKU to get things done at end user level. So let me ask the question again. What if TD Synnex bought Xerox? What would that give them? That would give them the ability to control a contract from birth to death. That would give them the ability to deliver products, solutions, and services directly to end users. They would own the whole channel. Ladies and gentlemen, whether or not TD Synnex buys Xerox for that reason, I will tell you this. There's going to be a whole lot of service providers, both in the print space and in the IT space, that will be getting directions from TD Synnex and folks like TD Synnex. These service providers will just be part of the deliverable. But the most important thing I hope you learn from what I just said is you're going to lose control of the contract because TD Synnex or these global players are going to own that contract from birth to death. You're just going to be one of the spokes in the wheel. That's why I keep screaming. If you want to go into the marketplace and provide professional SMB services, then you need to sell your intellect. You need to be going to customers that will pay you for the intellect, whether that's to help them in their digital transformation, whether that's to help them in their IT services. Folks, we have got to be able to sell our intellect. Don't bastardize this opportunity with digital transformation as we bastardize the opportunity with managed IT, as we listen to consultants who tried to build lifestyle IT companies out of those dealer friends of mine that wanted to go into the market and give great value to end users, value that would be paid for. Don't make the same mistake twice. In Keypoint Intelligence, you're the largest analytical firm in the damn industry. And I think it's about time you start analyzing the journeys to these destinations you're so eager to talk about. Because everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.